Road rage incidents, they are rising across Western Washington. You know, when you get in your car and you've been driving for a while, and then somebody's like really on your rear end, like, what are they doing? And you think, I'm just going to slow down. Maybe rethink, maybe reimagine and rethink your approach to driving after you hear what I have to say in this podcast. We're going to jump on in. We're going to get into it. Let's do this. So far this year in King County, there have been 230 road rage incidents where weapons were brandished and 193 where shots have actually been fired. That's some scary stuff. So the bottom line is, don't monkey around with the other guy in the car unless you want to get into a little entanglement and have to work your way out. Everybody wants to be the big cowboy and say, I don't really care. I can handle anybody out there. Got a firearm in my glove box. All right. Yeah. Do you really want to have to deal with that? Do you really want to have to deal with that when you could avoid it by just, do some stuff that keeps you out of harm's way? Maybe don't go out late at night, right? That's one of my rules is if you are out later at night, go from point A to point B, which is home, as fast as you can. Also, don't piss anybody off. Don't do anything to upset folks that's going to draw attention. Don't ride up on their rear end. Basic defensive mechanisms. Now, if you want to, live a thrilling life, go ahead. Ride 2 feet away from the rear bumper. See what happens. See what works out. Maybe you'll be one of these 230 road rage incidences. I hope not. That's why we're talking about it, because people are crazy out there. And, if you're logical and you're reasonable, like everybody here watching this channel are, you don't want to have to deal with a road rage incident. That's just not what we're doing. But they are literally happening out there, and they're happening more often. Let's jump on in. Road rage incidents have been increasing in Western Washington over the past few years. On Friday, a 9-year-old boy was shot in Renton. And less than a month ago, a 24-year-old woman was shot and killed in a road rage incident in Skykomish. Skykomish one got a fair amount of publicity. The 9-year-old boy in Renton, I think that was close to being in Burien. But yeah, he's been in the hospital, and I think he got shot in the head, and maybe did he get shot in the leg too? He got shot somewhere else. He got shot in the face. I mean, just horrible. He's probably sitting in the back seat. He's sitting in his car, and the car gets riddled with bullets, and terrible. 9 years old. That kid can't drive, let alone, do anything to deserve being shot. And he just didn't. It's one of these road rage deals. But somebody, some knucklehead had a gun and thought, you know what, this really pisses me off. And they're just blasting away out the window. And then this poor 9-year-old innocent kid, that's not how things are meant to be. But it's what we're dealing with, right? So that's why we got to talk about it. We've seen a lot of erratic behavior on our roadways, said Sergeant Darren Moss Jr. He's the public information officer for the Pierce County Sheriff's Office. He said sometimes aggression can progress into violence. And that's what I always kind of think of. And, just the other day, I had somebody come up way too fast behind me. And so I just kind of instinctively slowed down, and he just got right on my bumper. And I, slowed down further because, it actually kind of scared me. And it was at dusk. It was at a time where it was gonna be dark. So I couldn't quite see all that great. And my girlfriend said, hey, you just got to punch it, get up there, give that guy a little space, and we'll be okay. But I was so pissed. I just wanted to stop the car, get out, and just, nothing, right? Nothing. Yep. So he said sometimes aggression can progress into violence. We've had a couple instances of people pulling out guns on someone else or flashing a gun in their window at somebody. Seems like everybody runs around with a gun now, right? So that's why you don't want to do this, because it used to be, well, maybe he gets out with a baseball bat. You'll have to deal with that. But no, these people running around with guns, and they have zero inhibitions using them. I'll use my gun. Why wouldn't I? In King County, there have been more road rage incidents involving guns over the past few years. According to Washington State Patrol, the King County road rage shootings have been increasing since at least 2017. 2021 was the highest total during that period. We talked about 230 road rage incidents, 193 with shots fired. Sergeant Moss said it's important to not react or escalate the situation. But I think, it's so instinctive to do so. You just want to don't mess with me. No, we're not doing that. And, you think you're, tough guy. And then, somebody whips out a gun and then you're no longer driving. Somebody else is attending your funeral. So, like this poor 9-year-old kid or the 24-year-old in Skykomish, which is way up north, basically Cascade Mountain Range. And that person isn't around. And maybe they didn't even do anything. And it was just, it was one of those random deals where, all right, you're not going to make it through today. So whatever violation somebody does to you when you're out driving, keep in mind in the back of your head, this isn't worth getting either maimed or hurt or, even killed over. Nothing's worth that. Let them go around you. Let them do whatever. Just know that they're the moron. They're the idiot. And, harm's going to come to them if they keep that up. Keep your nose clean. Drive safely. Do all that stuff, right? Well, we're talking about some random stuff here too. That 9-year-old kid couldn't have done anything to prevent that. He's at the wrong place at the wrong time. So somebody's acting out on a little road rage and you're thinking about being the tough guy. Get out of your car. Well, you don't know what they're going to get out of their car with, said Moss. He's the officer. Are they getting out of their car with a crappy attitude? They just want to fight you physically? Well, maybe. Or are they getting out of their weapon? Or are they getting out with a weapon like a baseball bat or a hammer or a firearm? That's the unknown. You just don't know. And that's what I always go to is I might have a gun. And even if I have a gun, which I might even have a, concealed weapon permit. I don't know. Anything's possible, right? Well, does that mean I want to use it after having some kind of encounter driving? Probably not. I want to try and smooth that over, de-escalate that as best I can and move on with my life because I like living. That's just kind of how I handle things, right? So what matters most, said Moss, is that more important to being right, or is it more important to be safe? Those are things to consider. Now, when you're doing your comments in the YouTube section or Rumble or wherever you are, I know you're going to be a cowboy. You're going to talk about, I'm going to defend what's mine. Yeah, you might. But what about that passenger in your car? Think about them too. What about those passengers in the back seat? Think about them too. Think about those people at home that are waiting for you to get there. None of this nonsense is worth, being the cowboy. Well, I sure showed them. Yeah, right? This trend is being seen across the country, according to Every Town for Gun Safety. 2021 was record-setting for the number of road rage shootings in the United States, with more than 500 people shot. So that's the statistic that I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't really want to become that statistic. Just driving around, doing my thing. Somebody takes offense at something I do on the road, then shoots me. Hard no-go there, right? You know why? Just not reasonable. Living? Yeah, want to keep going down that road. Sergeant Moss said that if someone is being aggressive towards you on the road, just get in another lane, slow down, and let them pass. If they continue to follow you, he advises you call 911 and start driving towards a police station. I love how these articles give you the most logical advice ever, right? Because if some nut job is following you and you're like, oh my gosh, what do we do? Are you calmly going to go, I read that the other day in an article. What did they say? He's really on my bumper now. Oh, he's swerving erratically. Oh, he's waving a handgun out they're looking at the rearview mirror and he's waving a handgun out the window. All right. Well, that must mean something. I'm not sure what. And still driving over here. Oh yeah. What was it that article said? Oh yeah. Slow down, get in another lane. And if it's really bad, call 911 and drive towards the police station or stop at a fire station. Who knows? Maybe some people can do that. I would be like, I'm just going to crash off in the ditch and hope we survive. That's what I'd be more likely to do. I'm just going to get off the road and let this jackass pass. Everybody reacts differently, right? Bottom line is you want to stay alive because nutty people out there doing nutty things when they're driving. Don't be a statistic. Need you to keep watching videos, right? And this is what it's all about. You just got to talk about this stuff and figure out life game plan here. Don't be a statistic. Don't be one of those people that got shot. More than 500 people shot due to road rage last year. That's not good. That's not good. All right. That's it for me. Thanks so much for being here. We'll catch up soon. Talk then. Bye for now.